What's up, guys? So today's video is going to be on a food item. This is ants on a log. Have you guys ever heard of ants on a log before? I'm making the video because I know a lot of you haven't. Alright, if you're a little older, you probably have. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't, maybe you never even had it, but you probably know what it is. But I'm going to assume the younger generation has no idea what ants on a log is. Now, this is, I think, the most common version of this. There's many versions, but this is a chunk of celery with peanut butter and raisins. And I know that sounds super gross to a lot of you, but I think it's really good. My grandmother used to make ants on a log occasionally. I want to say this goes back to the 50s. I don't know who came up with it. I don't know the true origins, but I know that it wasn't immensely popular, you know, in recent decades or anything, but back in the day it was kind of a thing. So other versions of this that I've had with, instead of peanut butter, it's cream cheese. So cream cheese, celery, and raisins, which, to me, I mean, I'm more of a peanut butter person. Like, it's one of those things where if I want to eat healthy, you have to really watch what you're eating, because back in the day, they'd be like, oh, you know, instead of snacking on potato chips or snacking on, you know, something that's extra sugary or salty, why don't you just dip celery in peanut butter? And you're like, fantastic, celery, right? It's like zero, I think it's negative calories. You're using more calories to chew and digest it than you're getting from the celery. It's mostly water, right? Problem is, when you're, you know, going through a half a jar of peanut butter, you're taking in thousands of calories. Literally thousands of calories. So like the celery here, nothing as far as calories. The peanut butter, there's probably 1 good tablespoon of peanut butter in here. I don't know offhand, but it's got to be like 100 calories, 200 calories. I don't know. Peanut butter is very caloric. You know, it's very fatty from the nuts, all the oils in the nuts and stuff. So it has a lot of fat in it, natural oils and fat. Well, I don't know if it has technically fat, but it has a lot of oil in it, as well as sugar. Obviously, it's sweetened. So it looks like maybe a healthier snack than potato chips, but a pinch of potato chips is probably the same calories or less than this, believe it or not. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to try another potato chip, and I know people are just going to totally bust my chops, so I had to do something healthy, right? Really, the truth is, this is kind of an odd food, and not a lot of people know about it these days, so I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. All right, so raisins, that's, again, hit and miss for a lot of people. Some people love raisins. I have not literally had raisins in years. I bought one of the, what is it, Sunmade, or whatever it is, the little boxes of raisins for this. I love raisins. I love craisins, things like that. I just don't eat it, really. It sounds stupid because it's very caloric. You know, a couple raisins, not a big deal. A bunch of raisins, a lot of sugar, right? So it actually has calories, so I would feel like I'd rather just have something else. Believe it or not, I love prunes. Prunes to me are like giant raisins, which are, you know, if you never saw a prune before, which it's not just for old people. They're delicious, I have to say. I'm not old yet, and I love prunes. Although that's another thing I haven't had in a long time. But they're just dried plums. But because of the drying process and everything, it's just, you know, all those sugars are condensed, you know, instead of, you know, normally maybe you'd eat a plum, 2 plums, 3 plums, maybe if you're hungry. But you can go through, you know, a thing of prunes pretty easily. Now you've eaten a dozen plums, which normally you've not, you know, you wouldn't do. Same with fruit juices, right? People try to say if you're, you know, trying to lose weight or be healthy or whatever, stay away from fruit juices. Because if you drink a glass of orange juice, like an 8-ounce glass of orange juice, that's like eating a couple oranges, where normally, because of all the pulp and the process of chewing and eating, you'd be full. You wouldn't want to eat 3 or 4 or 5 oranges, but you can drink that in literally 2 seconds. You know, so anyway, what does it taste like? Well, let's see. We'll go ahead and take a chomp. Here we go. Well, I think it's good. So what you have here really is like the textural differences, and you have a lot going on. So what makes this an interesting food item is the contrast of stuff, right? You know how like sweet and salty just go really well together? Well, in this case, you have crunchy and kind of wet, I guess you would say, from the celery, right? All the water and the juice that's in the celery. But then you have the sweetness and the creaminess of the peanut butter. Now, the raisins get lost in this a little bit, I have to admit, because the celery is kind of a strong flavor, and the peanut butter is a strong flavor. Like when I first bit into it, it was straight up celery, then the peanut butter hits hard, then the peanut butter kind of overmasks the celery, and then towards the end, as you're chewing, those raisins are still kind of in the equation. That's when you kind of get the sweetness, which is even more sweet than the peanut butter, at the very end, and the little chewiness of the raisins. So, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's, again, textural difference, the flavor difference. It's good. It's a nice little snack. I wouldn't go overboard because it's not healthy. I mean, obviously, if you don't care about eating healthy, then yeah, have a whole big plate of these things. They're good to me. Now, the ones with cream cheese, it's different. Like, I love cream cheese. I'm from Jersey, so if you don't put a whole pack of Philadelphia cream cheese on a bagel, I don't know what you're doing. But that's very gross to a lot of people, right? So when it comes to bagels and cream cheese, yeah, I can't have enough. But cream cheese and other applications, for some reason, it can be sickening to me. Like, I don't like straight cream cheese. I know it sounds super strange, right? Because in a bagel, what's the difference? Well, I don't know. Maybe just a combination of I'm chewing a dense bread. I don't know. Couldn't explain it to you. But like this filled with cream cheese, the first bite would be okay, I'm sure. But like as a mania, it would gross me out. Like just having a lot of cream cheese like that. I've heard ricotta cheese as a version. I don't think that would be good personally. But hey, I'm sure some people think this is gross to begin with. So it's not weird if you like that. I know some people make sweet ones. You could put some kind of a cream in here, like almost like a cannoli filling, you know, and chocolate chips. You could do all kinds of things with this. The celery is just a base. It's really for the crunch. Obviously the flavor's in there a little bit, but it gets masked with the ingredients that are inside for the most part, especially if you have stronger and sweeter, you know, fillings for this stuff. But there you go. Ants on a log. If you never heard of it, now you have. So I'm going to finish this because I think it's delicious. All right, now we're left with just an ant. One single ant. Which, by the way, I should have, you know, said this earlier. I think it's obvious, but it's called ants on a log because the raisins look like ants in a row, and the celery is obviously the log. You know, and the brown peanut butter is the brown bark of a log, right? You get it? So, anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.